Hello and welcome to Chapter 289 of the DC Alliance podcast. With me, as always, is Joe. Joe, how you doing today?
I'm tired. I'm tired, Travis. This is the part of the year, well, really the part of the month where I'm just stupid busy because I've got so much that I have to put out for podcast wise. So I'm just tired.
And you have a real job as well.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh, well, I mean, look, that's a daily thing, especially this time of year.
yeah,
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I'm doing good. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Joe. Funny to think, I'm pretty sure this show is going to outlive the existence of WBD, which is a funny
Ugh.
thing when you think about it. But my week's been good. I had my day off today, wasn't sort of day off. I was running around doing things. I need a little bit of work on the car that I got to do at some point. Oil change and stuff is not too bad to do by myself. So uh, probably will do that next week. And besides that, just getting ready for a relaxing weekend here, Joe. Finished work and Halloween's coming around the corner. So
Yes, it is next week.
yeah. So fire up the multiple costumes for the kid and me, and let's go.
Oh yeah, I gotta pull my costume together.
Yeah,
Anyway,
gonna
sorry.
gonna be the day after my kid's TV show that he likes. So gotta go
Bluey?
get some corduroy pants. No,
Oh,
Cocomelon is the thing.
okay. I said I got
Really,
a
really
Bluey
big.
costume. I can ship it to you.
Green
Or it's
plaid
what's his
shirt
name?
and
Dad
whip
or
back
whatever.
my hair, but I got my hair cut, so that kind of
Kind of defeats
I
that
might have to
purpose.
get a wig for that. So
You can figure
yeah,
something out.
yeah. But we actually got news here this week, Joe, because we had
Yeah, we
no
do.
news last week. I was trying to do the show notes, listeners. There was literally two pieces of news, and one of those was Nicholas Holt saying that he hasn't read the Man of Tomorrow script yet, but spoke about it with James Gunn. Like that was one of the two pieces of news floating around last week. So it was tough times, but thankfully James Gunn made rounds on YouTube to a lot of YouTubers, and there's a soon to be sale of the company that owns the rights to DC. We got a little bit to talk about here this evening. So before we do that, let me get the network plugs out of the way. So we are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance with 6 shows in total. On Mondays, bi-weekly Ranger Alliance. On Tuesdays is a walk through the multiverse. On Wednesdays is the Animation Nation. On Thursdays is Star Wars Alliance. On Fridays is Marvel Alliance. And on Saturdays is DC Alliance. Star Wars Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Marvel Alliance goes live Thursdays at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Time, and DC Alliance goes live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All three of those shows also have their own podcast feeds. Search DC Alliance, Marvel Alliance, and Star Wars Alliance if you just want DC content, Marvel content, or Star Wars content only. But if you want all 6 shows on the GUA Podcast Network, stay subscribed to the GUA on your podcast app of choice. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, a $1 tier and $5 tier. The $1 tier is basically a tip tray, like we're doing. You want to help us out any way you can, and $5 tier is where you get your extras. You get your ad-free episodes, early access to episodes, and Patreon exclusive episodes. Myself and Joe are going through all the DC films through the years, over 30 pieces of content up there for the patrons right now. We have the Marvel Alliance guys having 3 shows completed now for the patrons. Infinity Saga, going over the entirety of Infinity Saga. Tales from the House of X, talking about their favorite Fox Marvel films. And then their Baxter broadcasts, reviewing the 4 Fantastic Four films. And we also have Joe's Multiverse Minutes, where he's doing his Disney deep dives. On the 1st and the 15th of every month, Joe reviews a Disney film. Not just reviews it, gives you fun behind the scenes facts, tidbits, all that sort of thing. And Joe's right now into his 30 plus days of Halloween. We have about a week left to go, Joe. A week exactly until Halloween day. And I'm sure that definitely has added to your busyness of your podcasting. What is on the dock for tomorrow?
Tomorrow is a movie called Time Cut. Today was 1031 Part 2. I know last week we weren't here, but last week was 1031 Part 1, which is an anthology. Today is Part 2, which is an anthology.
Ooh, I like
Um,
those.
yeah, most of them was good. Last week's, I think it was last week's episode. May have been this one, but I'm pretty sure it was last week's. Had a really great uh, segment in there, which was like this serial killer segment where it was just a bunch of serial killers showing up to the same kill. Really great. Really love that one. I mean, serial killer stereotypes, I should say, but really great. I can't remember what was in the second part, which segments were in there, but I think I still had fun with the second one. But tomorrow, Time Cut. It's a time travel movie, time travel horror movie, which, if you listen to yesterday's episode talking about Totally Killer, they did it better. Just saying it right
Ooh.
there.
And Joe, when you were talking about the anthology, first thing comes to mind, horror anthology, Tales of the Crypt.
Tales of the Crypt is a
And
great one.
I can
Tales of
remember,
the Crypt and Creep Show.
I remember
Those two
trying
are
to
both
stay up
great.
late when we got satellite to watch Tales of the Crypt because, like, I really wanted to see it. And yeah, that's something that I'm gonna have to go back and check at some point because it's been a really long time. And there was some really fun stories, just like Twilight Zone and other shows of that nature. But yeah, those are always fun, especially around Halloween. So we thank everyone that's a patron. If you're not a patron, if you take a quick 30, 60 seconds, rate and review the podcast on your podcast app of choice, it's always greatly appreciated. It helps other people find the shows, and that's always a good thing. Okay, Joe. Well, things aren't the well, depending on who you want to look at and the way you want to look at it, things are better for WBD, I guess. Things are changing. WBD is not going to exist anymore in its current format as they are going through the process of selling the company or parts of the company, Joe. And
Yeah.
I got to ask because this has been rumored for a while. A fellow finance guy, Pud33, and I chatted a couple years ago. I don't think he's on Twitter anymore. I think he's on Blue Sky now. And we chatted for a little while about this possibility and what Zaslav had to do. We did talk about him having to build franchises, and lo and behold, you have a DCU and Harry Potter. Those castings have been coming rampant, so that's another franchise that's picking up steam. So uh, there is a possibility that it can be parsed off. I don't know how much or how like will it just be the movie division? Will it be the TV movie division? Will TV go off on its own? Will someone just buy HBO? Will someone just buy the DC Studios? It could go any way. It could go all there's all realm of possibilities, and the same thing goes for James Gunn's job, in
Yeah.
my opinion. And that sucks because both of us want him to stay, want him to keep going. But he did an interview. I watched several of his YouTuber interviews. He did an interview with Boba Tax, is his name.
Okay.
And I James Gunn was speaking to him like he was supposed to be someone that I'm supposed to know his YouTube channel, and I don't. So, but I'm not the biggest like follower of that stuff. And he made a little comment that I picked up on, and I'm pretty sure I heard Snell talking about it on his solo show about the same thing. He said to Boba, if yes, they definitely go significantly further than Man of Tomorrow. So now, whether or not that'll be me that's able to fulfill that promise, he made a weird. Depends on a lot of things in life, but yeah,
Yeah. I mean, again, they obviously know what's going on before we will. That's a
yeah.
100% given.
But I don't know how much more how like they'll know before of their fate, but I don't know how much quicker they'll know who bought
Well,
DC, who bought WBD
correct.
if they parse them out. Because normally, Joe, what you're saying is right, and a good company would give people heads up. But
Correct.
just an
That
FYI,
10 years ago, that would have been the case.
like a prime example,
10 months ago, that's not the case anymore.
NBA on TNT was sold to ESPN after losing the basketball rights, and the people on NBA on TNT found out from the people at ESPN who were texting them to congratulate them for joining the family. And
Uh-huh.
they're like, "You traded us. You didn't even call us to let us know what was going on. We have no idea." And God love Charles Barkley. He's like, "Yeah, WBD and TNT sucks. I think way they handle this is Bush League." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you do you." But yeah, that's how they are. So I don't know how I don't know how Zaslav. I hope he would like let him know like his fate. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think Zaslav cares anything more than about Zaslav. I could be wrong about that, but this is what he's been building towards, and I'm a little worried because a lot of the times in business, in sports, and in life, if someone buys a company or buys something, they usually like if they're coming from somewhere where they were successful, they usually like to bring in the people that helped them get to be successful. But again, a lot of people with common sense would look and see that DC Studios is just starting to get their footing. They have some projects and a plan. So maybe we'd like to see that through for a change. I don't know how the DC brand survives another reboot, like before this one even gets off the ground. So I am very worried, Joe. But all I know is that we will. There's nothing to set. There's nothing to stop Lanterns from coming. So we
Yeah,
will
that's
get
already
that
on the board. Like
and
that's fine.
Supergirl because those are
Supergirl's
filmed.
done. It's everything after that.
Yes.
Because yes, I know in the show notes we're going to be talking about the Batman film, Brave and the Bold. But who's to say that's going to happen?
Nothing after
Not,
Supergirl.
Because that thing is not like we don't have a script for that yet. We don't have any casting for that yet.
Clayface too. Clayface is filming right now, so yeah, that is
yes,
another one that'll be that. No, because the sale
you can't
will
say
not
that.
happen. No, the sale you're not going to. Okay,
hold on. I'll say before you finish that sentence.
Batgirl.
Right there, exactly.
Yeah,
Batgirl was finished and done, company. And they put it on a shelf.
Yeah, but this one doesn't have, like, this one's more practical effects. I'm just saying, like, there's a good chance. There's a 75-25 chance or more higher that Clayface will get to see that as well. Because I think anything in production actually filming, they're not going to stop because I don't think the sale will happen and get put through fast enough for it to be before Clayface is done filming. Now, if they want to put money in afterward for post-production, Joe, you could be right. They might not want to do that, and then they'll just shelve the film, take the write-off. But they also might put it out because it's a cheap film and it might not take much to finish it post-production from what you're hearing about dailies and stuff. So that's a different one than Batgirl where she's battering around. All that's VFX. And the Firefly shooting, like most of that is VFX. So
well, sure, but again, I'm not taking anything at face value right now. Like until I see everything, until I see a trailer for it and it's coming into theaters, it could be gone. You know, so I'm not even. And the sale has to go through. Once the sale goes through and everything's finalized, then we can start looking toward the future and seeing what's going to be coming out.
I agree with that, and also, unfortunately, as normally this would not matter at all. You just take it on a case by case basis, but I'm just going to fire this out there too. A senior Trump official said that Warner really needs to think about the odds of success getting the deal cleared with players outside of Paramount. They kind of want it to go to Paramount. So,
because it isn't one of
Ellison is a big Trump donor.
Yeah, so one of Trump's people is heading that. So it's like
they want like American company to keep it. He helped them get TikTok too, so that's why.
I get that, but at the same time, that's not how companies work.
No, not before. Not before Crazy Cheeto Man.
But eight months ago, that's 10 months ago. That's how worked. 8 months ago, it changed.
Yeah, and antitrust laws would be big for like. I don't even think this would go through, Joe. If there was a different regime in charge of your country, I'm pretty sure this wouldn't go through for antitrust laws. And just like,
I mean, if it was a whole different regime, we wouldn't be having this conversation. This would not have been around. None of this we wouldn't be talking about this. But we're not there. We're living in this hellscape right now. So we're
living in this weird time, and again, offers are going out there. Some of them are true, some of them are not. Like Paramount offering David Zaslav co-CEO and co-chairman title, going after WBD. So, like, is that what you're doing? Like, I think he'd be there for show, but he likes that as well. He's been at Nick Games, walking around big celebrities, Tom Cruise. So, like, I don't know, he likes that stuff. So that's part of the reason why he got away from Discovery and tried to go into Warner Brothers with it, because like they were just reality TV, and he wanted to get into the movies and the big times. So I don't know, Joe. This is weird. It's like DC is just getting going, but I know personally, like, I would put the odds. I wouldn't put it at a 0 chance that Gunn doesn't leave. Like, I do think there's a percentage. I don't think it matters how, unless he was like a Kevin Feige level successful, but he didn't have the time to have that done because Iron Man and stuff. That it wasn't like that was just okay numbers. The first Iron Man and
but that was also the beginning of everything, and Superman got the buzz, at least in our circles. It got everybody hyped. Everybody is, hyped for what's to come. Everybody's excited for Lanterns. Everybody's excited for Supergirl. Again, for in our circles, the people that we know, and we're just, you and I are small fries compared to the people we know who
Hmm.
are excited and talking about it. So the fact that Gunn was able to do that with these characters, and is already working on the next project with Man of Tomorrow. And I know I'm pretty sure Peacemaker. I think I saw that it didn't get the numbers that they wanted. It still got the hype, but it didn't get the numbers that they wanted. So that could hurt it. That could affect it, like
I
possibly or
don't.
something. I don't know how that works, but because it's HBO and then HBO Max, because it aired on both. So I don't
Did
know.
it air on HBO?
I
I don't
thought it
think it
did.
did. I don't think it did. I don't think it aired on
Considering it
HBO.
came on at 9 on Sunday night, I thought it did.
Maybe it did. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't have HBO either, so it's not
Yeah,
like a.
same. So
Uh,
either
I
way,
I do have an article highlighting some of this stuff that I'll talk about in a second, but we'll do our first ad break of the evening. Listeners for an ad support network. We don't pick the ads or the volume. I'm going to give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Joe, I laughed a little bit because I had 16 put into the regular chat and just realized it. Caught myself before I actually put it.
hey,
Yeah,
look at you.
look at me growing. Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? So I got a article here from Bloomberg, and I just want to touch on it because it is one of the more recent articles. It was updated a couple times.
Okay.
Uh, Warner Brothers Discovery is considering a possible sale of the company after receiving unsolicited interest from multiple parties. Netflix Inc. and Comcast Corp. are weighing bids for part of the media and entertainment company, according to people with knowledge in the matter. The Warner Brothers board will evaluate a broad range of options, including a planned split up of the company by mid 2026, and that's what I'm talking about here. It's going to take a little while for all this stuff to go through, and you got to keep going. You have commitments and stuff. Like the TV stuff doesn't stop. Even like Fox was sold to Disney, a lot of the Fox channels and stayed on for years before they stopped. So the Warner Brothers will evaluate it. Uh, an outright sale or separate deal for studio and streaming or cable TV units, according to a statement on Tuesday. And then it said, after receiving multiple interest from multiple parties, we have initiated a comprehensive review of strategic alternative to identify the best path forward to unlock the full value of our assets. My God,
Does it say
like
what
just
the parties are? I know you said Netflix and all, but did they actually say the parties? Because
the only party that has tendered an offer so far
it's
is
Paramount.
Paramount Skydance Corp, the film and
Exactly.
TV company led by David Ellison.
Because one of the things that Iggy sent me was saying that Netflix has actually said they're not actually interested in
Now,
buying.
I saw that, Iggy. I saw that interview, and I will say Netflix has said that also about live sports and also about one other thing, and then they got into both of those worlds.
Well, and
So
I'm sure they
they
don't. I'm sure they're saying it now, like they don't want it now, but like they're always looking into it. Like
also that's not your. That would be a terrible businessman and dealer if you're going to say outright, like, yeah, I'm super interested and wants it right. You're going to play as coy as humanly possible about it, like to the outside world. If you know what you're doing, you're not going to try and like, because right now they have one bidder. So the
but
other
yeah,
thing is, do we keep this fish and take what they're offering, or do we like try and hold out and maybe Apple come along and pay us $30 a share? Because right now the most current bid from Paramount is $23.50 a share.
yeah,
And that's not, now I know the board and the shareholders want 25, but
yeah.
now Big Z would love to get $30 a share. And that's what happens if you get multiple bidders. And there is like kind of a word of Apple might be jumping in. So
And that's
I,
the thing. If you wait it out, if you only let the one person, like you were saying, if you only let the one person bid right now, but if you wait it out, you can get a higher, you can get more dollars per share. But if you wait too long, then yes, the people buying it are going to be spending more, and that's better for WB, obviously. worse for the other companies because they're
Yes.
spending more.
And again,
So
the
it's
film
a double edged sword for everybody, really.
and I don't know how they're going to do this too, Joe, because WBD got a god awful amount of debt. Like
Oh
it
yeah,
was at like 50 billion. I think they've done a good job of getting it down, but unfortunately, and this is the same problem that AT&T found when they took over WBD, is when WB was in trouble, a bit of financial trouble, like 10 years earlier or 5 years earlier, they've signed all these deals for their content to put it on platforms. And then when AT&T wanted to start their thing, they couldn't put half the stuff on there. They couldn't put their app in half the places
yep.
in the world. And yeah, they solely realized, yeah, this is not the place. Now, I don't know why you didn't do that research first and know what the
It's the
rights
same.
are for that kind of stuff. Like,
It was the same thing that happened with Marvel early on. They needed money, so
yeah,
they sold their rights to everything just to
and
get the money. But they waited, they bid their time, and they got everything back
yeah,
in due time.
yeah. And Joe, that's my biggest worry here is like if someone comes out of the clouds and bids like 200 million for Batman and his entire library and everything. That's my
Yeah,
worry
I
is that they somehow break up and you have part. Because that was one of the great things about DC is everything was under DC. Like DC
I
stuff was under DC.
yes, and they kept that one very tight knit with DC. I would be very sad if in the future it becomes a Superman family goes to Apple, Batman family goes to Netflix.
And I don't know if that'll be that or if
I
it'll
don't
be
think
like
they will,
I
but
think
like,
DC Studios as a whole and DC as a brand is more like is better than breaking it up into its parts. But
yeah.
again, but
Oh, I
I
agree.
don't know.
I think nowadays, considering what like if this was 1990, I think yes they would have split
Yeah,
and they would have been like yes, Batman titles would be sold off, Superman titles would be sold off. But considering now how the franchises are,
and
it's
shared
gonna be
universe and
DC.
stuff.
It'll be
Yeah.
DC over here. It will be Harry Potter over there. It will be the Game of Thrones franchise over here. Like they will break it up by franchise, not by title.
And what we talked about, I want to say a month or two ago, about WBD branching off into two companies. I don't even remember us discussing that very limitedly. That you're going
Eh,
TV and movie was going to be their own companies. They're planning on doing that so they can move most of their debt over to the secondary company that they don't sell. So that
uh,
was kind of the part of the plan of them to try to get because it's an awful lot of debt for any company to take on. Like that debt makes it doesn't stop you from borrowing money, but it makes you borrowing money, but it's higher. The interest is higher. Like it's not great terms compared to what it is if you have less debt. So I I'm a little shocked that it's going to be sold so quickly. Like I remember doing an episode about WB becoming WBD, but AT&T selling it to. I remember doing an
yeah.
episode about that, and we're still here, and they're gone. I just hope DCU survives, Joe. That is my because I'm really excited for Lanterns. Really excited.
I mean,
Superman was
we're gonna get lanterns. We're gonna get
better
Supergirl.
than not. Like it was like a 7.5 for me. So like no complaints there. Like I've
Yeah.
watched a lot worse comic book films.
Ooh,
And
tell me about it. I'm still watching worse comic book films. Um,
Peacemaker, like
like season two was fine. They had
yeah,
some
I
problems, but
love
it was
season
fine.
one, but
Season one was great. Came out of
se-
nowhere.
season two there was some problems I found. But again, I'm still excited about the concept that we got at the end of season two about putting
Yes.
on that's something that I really hope we get to see. So we got a lot of news about that and about other things from James Gunn. So I think maybe we'll take a swing on over there, Joe, to
Let's do it.
talk about some of the news. We got a lot of news here. Let's let's see when was the last? Was that 12 or 15? Okay,
You said
we'll wait a little
16.
bit longer. Yeah,
Yeah, so you got a little. We're
we'll
only
wait
like
until 30
5
for me. We'll
minutes.
do some news before we take an ad break. So listeners, we'll jump into some stuff here now. So the Superman movie is moving up the Nielsen streams, the streaming movie charts. It went from number 4 to number 2 last week to this week, and it's only HBO Max offering in the top 10. The top 10 are K-pop Demon Hunters from
I still need to
Netflix.
watch that.
A lot of buzz about that. I
Yeah.
might check that out as well. Superman 500. You also got to remember too that Netflix Netflix and Disney Plus are the main people here. It's because they have the bigger subscribers.
Well, yeah. Like
So like you're
I
going to
mean,
get more minutes.
I've had Netflix since like 2013. I'm never gonna get rid of Netflix,
No, same. And
or even before that. Like
you got to
I've
give
had
some
Netflix
props to
forever.
Superman even landing on this list, let alone being number two, just for the amount of people that can watch it compared to some of these other ones. That's all. Like
Yeah.
Netflix is reach. Elio is 3. 28 years later, it's
Really, I still have to
4.
watch that one too.
Ruth and Boaz is number 5. San Andreas is number 6. Ice Road Vengeance is number 7. The Rang Paris is number. Oh my God! All the number 8 is Netflix. Oh yeah, well, it's streaming numbers. Number 9 is Lilo and Stitch from Disney Plus, and number 10 is Shrek 2 from Netflix and Peacock. So
Shrek
yeah,
2.
props to Superman there. Oh, I love Shrek.
Oh yeah, I did too. But I think what was it? What was I seeing that somebody was comparing Shrek 2 to House of the Dragon, or House of the Dragon copied Shrek 2? I think is what it was.
Wouldn't be shocked
Um,
if that was the case, Joe.
yeah. So I think yeah, I know. I thought I heard that Elio got a second life when it got to Disney Plus because I heard it, like it bombed in theaters, and I still haven't watched it yet. But I mean, the fact that it's number 3 here is pretty awesome. So
And again,
Ice
I'm
Road Vengeance. I don't know what the
never
hell
heard of that
that
one
is.
either.
Yeah, Netflix movie. So yeah, that tracks. Lots of
And
Netflix on
these
here.
and oh, Netflix is dominating there, but it is streaming numbers too.
Exactly.
And now, this news, listeners, I will say take it with a little bit of grain of salt because none of this is in production right now. Actual like physical like filming production, pre-production, yes, and we don't know what the fate of the DCU is at the moment. But Andy Muschietti chimed in a little bit about his the Brave and the Bold. Um, Not a whole lot though. There, he asked if there was any updates. The intention is yes, but we can't talk about it regarding the movie still happening. We have to wait a couple months to start talking about it. And then he said the comment he made that comment is like, oh crap, I screwed up already.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's James Gunn made a few comments about it as well. We don't know who the writer is for the Brave and the Bold. Gunn hasn't named them, and he's stated multiple times that the project doesn't go forward at DC Studio until a screenplay has been finalized. An interview with IGN in September, Gunn stressed the Batman movie story with Robin has evolved since the initial announcement. The Man of Tomorrow filmmaker confirmed some things have changed. Plenty of things are in flux on what his situation is with his parentage and all that stuff. That tells me maybe will Damian be in this? Because he says this stuff is in flux. Will be a different Robin. The DCU has another Batman-related installment in the same franchise with Clayface movie, which is currently filming. It will be arriving September 11th, 2026. But yeah, there's nothing else about the Batman. That basically just said that he can't talk about it, and he'll let you know in a couple months. And I think that'll be post-sale, Joe.
Yeah.
So
Well,
some of this
depends
news
on
is
how
going to be
quickly
pretty
you want to push
slow,
that sale. Yeah.
I think, until the sale's made. But hopefully, we do got a lot of news because James Gunn has made a whole lot of announcements. I've watched 20+ minute videos of James Gunn talking to different YouTubers. So before we get into that news, Joe, now we'll take our potentially final ad break of the evening. Listeners, we're an ad support network. We don't pick the ads or volume. I'm going to do a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe. James Gunn talked a lot. He was on Awesome Emergency podcast, and he was also on New Rockstars and Screen Crush. So I think New Rockstars and Screen Crush did a hybrid with him,
Oh,
but he
interesting.
said a whole lot of things. First off, he's talked about the Waller series is still in development with scripts still being worked on. The show will address what Amanda Waller has been doing during the events of Superman, Peacemaker Season 2, and Man of Tomorrow. So
I'm pretty sure it's just her sitting back, bag of popcorn, waiting for them to come back to her with like,
watching her,
"You're
but
right. I'm
watching Flag
sorry."
fuck everything up.
Yeah.
We never should have removed you. And then there was a whole lot of other stuff he talked about here. Uh, like we talked about, there's been a lot of changes with the Brave and the Bold that were not originally planned for the film when the film was announced. And he said that in the same interview. I watched this. He said, "Kind scene two. He's discussed it with Keanu Reeves, but hasn't read a script yet." And I'm like, "How do you not read a script? He talked about last month going in to present a script." And I don't think Keanu Reeves is lying. So
Well, it's like, here's a script. Yep, that's a script. I
stop
presented it
writing
to
Man
you.
of Tomorrow for a day, James, and read the script. I want it to be good enough.
I
uh,
mean,
this one, I watched this one, and honestly, my eyes rolled so hard as an excuse for not. Oh my god!
I don't know why.
Uh,
Don't know why you would have that reaction.
James Gunn says Darkseid will not be the big bad of the DCU because of how well Zack Snyder portrayed him recently, and including the fact that he draws a lot of similarities with Thanos. Uh, this was on the new Rockstar's thing. He also said that he finds Jack Kirby's New Gods so fascinating, and he will play and that they will play around with it. He says they will be introduced in Mister Miracle, which he has the screenplay for but hasn't read yet, and I think that's a TV show.
Yeah, Miss Merkel's
Yeah.
supposed to be the animated thing, I believe.
Yeah. So actually, I think this might be a live action. Maybe that's what he's talking about there.
Mr.
Because
Miracle?
Mr. Miracle, I feel like the scripts in that are all in the can because we got to look at the animation. So I feel like that's already going. So
Okay.
it could be. I thought that's what like listen to it, but now again, some things is lost in context there. But I that's not an excuse not to do Dark Side. I'm sorry. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Dark Side said like six what 60 words, if that, in the Zack Snyder Justice League and had all of like 5 minutes on screen. Like, I don't think that's the right excuse to not never see him again or not see him for years.
The big thing with Darkseid, which I know I've talked about on here before, it's he's a multiversal multiversal being, and I say that meaning that he actually is outside of everything. He's the one thing that is the constant in all of the multiverse.
If you want to do like a Crisis on Infinite Earths type thing, and then after that,
Correct.
Darkseid is born, I'm okay with that because there's a lot of great villains to feature in the DCU, and then when you get that, like,
Yeah, you could like have Darkseid be the Thanos. Yes, be the big bad that everybody has to come together to stop. But like he needs to be. Don't bring him in the beginning to start. Don't be like what they did with Thanos. And I know that whole thing was Joss Whedon just threw him in there as just a fun ending.
Easter egg, yeah.
And then the fans ran with it, and then the Marvel's just like, oh, we got something here. Let's push this.
Also,
Like,
Darkseid is never going to be as badass as he was in Apocalypse War. If we're really
oh
talking about,
yeah,
like,
no,
how,
you're right
like,
there.
taking names, like literal names and slaves, and
Yeah, no, that's
and
you can't beat that one.
And what are we talking about? If I was Zack Snyder, I wouldn't have even done Darkseid if this is the kind of thing you're going to do because Justice League Unlimited, and Superman the Animated Series did it way too good for it to ever be done in live action.
Well, sure,
because it was
but
so good.
But the other problem is that we never got the end of Zack's story, and unless we get it in either animated form or comic form, we're never going to get the end of his story.
Fine, I'll do it myself. What will you do yourself? I want to see.
Yeah,
I want to see Darkseid do things, and now it's basically saying you won't see him for 10 more years, son. So
yeah.
I'm just a little frustrated with that because again, I don't need Darkseid to be the big bad of this, but I don't understand why you can't have a Mr. Miracle thing where we actually see Darkseid and like no, he's real, and then this threat right now, this Salvation threat later on, that's going to be peanuts compared to what we got to deal with Darkseid because I don't know. I just feel like I want to see him in live action actually like punch somebody. I did see him use his Omega beams. It was an alternate Earth or alternate. I don't even know what we're going to call that, right? Alternate timeline.
But, I mean, extended universe.
Yeah, but anyway, I just would like to see James Gunn in this, Darkseid in this universe, and I like to see James Gunn's take on him. But again, if I got to wait a while, I will. I just don't think that's a great excuse, but someone else did him really good. But we're never going to see Iron Man again.
I mean,
stop doing Spider-Man after Tobey Maguire.
Who says Tobey Maguire was good?
A
Katie
lot of
doesn't.
people do.
Katie didn't say think so.
Well, I don't want to throw Katie under the bus, but Daredevil's all I'm going to say. We love you,
Anyway,
Katie. We love you, Katie.
anyway,
So yeah, I just didn't think that was the greatest excuse. But again, James Gunn also says don't expect Darkseid to run Salvation in the DCU, and that he really was only interested in the concept as a government-run prison. So there isn't going to be any. Darkseid used to send Desaad used to send parademons to Salvation
yeah,
in the comics.
I don't remember the comic book run. Like I said, I got it and I thumbed through it, but I don't remember it. It's too damn long since I've read that one.
It's been a while for me too. And again, James Gunn's also out here teasing storyboard sequences number 3 for Man of Tomorrow.
Stack of comics.
That's a lot of storyboards.
Yeah.
Better start filming.
Yeah. Before we hop into the last little bit of news, one of the other things that Iggy had sent me, apparently WB submits Superman for awards consideration. Don't know if you saw that.
Nope, didn't.
Apparently, so here are. I'm not gonna read what who all they said for, but they said it for like best picture, director, adapted screenplay, actor, actress, or supporting actress, supporting actor, casting, literally everything. From the sounds of it, but like they have so much here. Obviously, they do that for everything, but yeah, like that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping, Joe, that things go well here too. And I was most excited to talk about this last piece of news because I'm super interested to see this project. The dynamic duo one, because we haven't heard anything but that other than it's been a disaster.
I mean, it starts and then it stops and then it's. Yeah, no, I have no idea what's going on with that thing.
And Iggy, I don't know what's going to happen now. Like anything other than Lanterns and Supergirl, and Clayface, I can't tell you if we'll ever see it. That's my first thought about anything future. But like, I'm curious, Joe. What do you think? I got to ask you before we get into the final thing. What do you think the percentages is that James Gunn stays? If you're just thinking about it.
Okay, so top of my head, well, my dog says no. I don't know if you hear him or not. No,
Yep.
I'm gonna say good. Like I think he'll stay.
75-25 that he'll stay.
I don't. I mean, I guess yeah. You want to have actual percentage. Yeah, I'd say the percentage is high. It's not 100%. Obviously, like there's always that little bit of percentage that could waver. And the way you made it sound like he knows something, like he could be on the chopping block, but that could also be a matter of who knows what happens with the sale, you know? So I don't know. I don't know.
Shout out to WBD too, who raised the prices of their HBO Max.
Yeah.
Like, come on, after this was announced. What a dick move.
Look, my favorite was Disney losing a bunch of subscriptions because of them dropping Fallon. No, Kimmel. And then they bring Kimmel back, but they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna raise prices starting next week. It's like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever.
What's this? Oh my,
jerks!
The streaming is Wild Wild West.
God, like
there's
it's
much
so
rules.
pathetic anymore, man.
You don't even have to put out what you streams, like how many numbers you get very out. Like you don't have to put that out if you don't want to, which is crazy.
Like the bad thing is, and like I hate to be like, oh, I know I don't need these services. Like we don't need these services. It sucks because we have these podcasts where we talk about these products that they make so that we can be entertained. But like I don't need to watch this stuff. I want to watch this stuff so that I have things to enjoy. my other thing is that I work at a job where I make enough money to where I can afford to have these streaming services. Between myself and my girlfriend, we make enough that we can afford this stuff. But it's just the fact that between the two of us, we're paying as much as cable.
Yeah, that's
And
wild.
it's just like, what in the hell? Why?
This was supposed to
Why?
make things cheaper. And
And
back
it's
when you first
not.
started subscriptions, it was like $4 and $5.
Yeah,
And now it's
exactly.
kind
And it
of
was
like
great. And
10,
now it's like,
20,
nope. I think
ad
I've got
free, $25.
Netflix is up to $20 now. I think Hulu. I think for me it's up to like 18, but that's going away. It's merging with Disney Plus, which I think is up to 20 right now is by itself. Like it's pathetic.
It's crazy. And again, I was talking about Dynamic Duo before. So Jack Batman One Dark Knight has been brought in by DC Studios to work on Dynamic Duo and its visual development.
Jock is awesome. I love his artwork.
He said, I'm currently working on Dynamic Duo for DC. I actually came to New Orleans so that I could visit Swayback Studios. They've got studios down there, so I've been designing stuff for them. Those guys are geniuses. I cannot wait to share what they've been up to. Visual development, basically. I'd love to tell you what I've been doing, but I guess I got to be a little bit careful. But it's very exciting, and it's right in my wheelhouse. Let's put it that way. I heard from them out of the blue. The title of the email was like Batman puppet film, and I thought, oh, okay, what's this? But then there was a link to their show reel, which you can see on Swayback's website, and I was blown away seeing what they're doing, applying what they do to the world of Gotham as a sight to behold. I'm lucky to have worked on a lot of things, but I'm really excited about this. I think it could be really, really special. That's why I was in New Orleans a couple weeks ago and had a week with them.
Look, I would 100% watch a Batman puppet film. Just saying.
And again, the way this looks is I can't wait to see this, Joe. This is one of the things I've been most intrigued about because they're setting it in DCU.
Sure, yeah. Let's get it out there.
Yep.
Give us content. Where is it?
It's not here right now, Joe, because we're going into our final thing to talk about tonight, our Smallville retro recaps.
Yay!
And yay!
Ooh, hold on.
Right,
let me bring up the text message I sent you last week.
Because I could have sent you one just as big this week about marketing and how bullshit it was back when we were watching these shows like this, like from the laptops to the like the Asus laptops to the phones to Stride freaking gum.
Dude,
Stride
I
gum.
remembered this episode
Just
because of
the
One
gum.
Republic, because of Stride gum. Ah, man. Yeah, no.
Just terrible. And
The bad
I'm
thing
so
is,
glad.
the episode actually was good. I actually enjoyed the episode. You take out the product placement and the terrible concert in a abandoned gum warehouse. Like, what? Okay, you take that stuff apart out of there. It's a good episode.
The last episode before that too.
It was better than last week's episode.
Like, what are we doing here? We have fracture where it's another one of someone going into someone else's mind or memories. Like, we've seen at least 2 other instances of that, and there's one in the future too. So, like, that's just too many times I'm doing that trope. Like, that's too many for the same show to do. And
Yeah.
Lex gets shot in the head.
Right in the forehead.
No
And yet-
talking about how you healed all that brain damage.
Well, he
None.
got shot and went into a coma. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh my god, you need more than your.
And you know how they
suspended
saved him?
disbelief.
They took him from Detroit to Smallville. That's how they saved him.
That crazy
Smallville.
medical facility in Smallville over Detroit.
They've got the best medical facility in Smallville. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that was so frustrating, Joe. And yes, I love seeing Pete, but it's so freaking frustrating to see Pete used as a marketing device.
I mean,
That's
sure.
That's it. And to make one or two snide comments about Lionel.
No, that all and Lex. But also, what really gets me is Pete, who knows Clark's identity. Obviously, he knew that back in season 2 or 3 or whatever. But at the same time, like, he knows all about becoming infected by kryptonite and becoming affected by kryptonite and what it can do to you. And when he gets affected by kryptonite, he becomes a terrible person, and he just keeps going along with it. Like, what are you doing, dude?
The only thing I can think of is that it powered envy of Clark over the years. Like this, he
Sure,
got to
no,
be super
I
excited
get
about
that,
that.
but like, you, there's a reason why Clark is always telling. Like, I understand every time that somebody gets powers, Clark has to find a way to have them not have the powers, and he they always are pissed off about that, and they like, I get that, but then you get a situation where like Chloe actually has powers, and he just accepts it. Like, oh, I can't take that away from you. No, I mean, you could, maybe
Also,
you could find a way.
one
You
thing that
found a
was
way everything else.
really odd for me was Pete just shows up. No hug, no. Oh, there. Oh, Pete's coming into town. Pete just shows up and he's there, and you haven't
Yeah,
seen him in
it,
3 years, and there's no hug, and he just. Oh, there's Pete. Hi,
well,
Pete.
they're in Metropolis, not Smallville, and then, oh
Yeah.
well, he comes to Smallville because I guess he is close by. My favorite part is, though, like at the end when he finds out that Chloe has powers. He's got a broken arm, and Chloe doesn't heal his arm. I'm just saying, like, I guess
Show
she's
him your
like, "Hey,
powers.
you're an asshole to me and to my new best friend Clark. So you're gonna keep your broken arm, jerk."
It was sad. This was the final appearance of Pete, and it was used to market the straw and gum.
Yeah.
This is basically my.
I think the sad part is they had One Republic do 2 live songs, and neither one of them were actually their hit songs.
A fun story from the Talkville podcast. Tom Willing was like, "Yeah, so like I looked at the guy. I was like, can I meet them?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." After they're done their set there, and he's like, when they're done, they went ate back to stuff, and he said, "I turned and went back." He said, and the only thing I got to meet was the tail end of their tour bus. As
Yep,
they
that
left.
tracks.
He was like, "They're in. They did their thing. They got it."
Yeah, because you're on a TV show. What they're a major
He was like,
band
he
at
also
that
said,
time.
like, he said, in this day and age, like, you would have got to meet him. He's like, there wouldn't have been like, he was like, I was just stood up there waiting, and I figured.
Well, sure, yeah, but this is also back in the mid 2000s,
yeah.
where they literally
They're playing everywhere. They're gone to another gig.
Well, not only that, but like early to mid 2000s, they had every single TV show have a band. Like, if you were a popular show, that band wanted to be on the show. Like, I remember Sabrina the Teenage Witch having bands on there. Charmed had, because they had the actual like bar. They had a band on the show every single week. Smallville had them on like once a year, maybe
so really,
twice a year.
when they were in high school, and that they had a lot of bands.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they had them all the time. Supernatural never did, but like there was, I'm pretty sure like a lot of the WB shows, probably like the Dawson's Creek and stuff like that, probably had them at some point. But like, if you were a popular show going on in the late 90s, early 2000s, and you were a band and you wanted to, if you were big enough, you were on those shows for a tiny bit of a segment. You made that happen.
Yeah,
They made it happen. So good for One Republic. I mean, they're still popular to this day. Like, I hear the songs on the radio all the time. Not that means it's popularity or anything, but I'm also listening to the pop rocks on Sirius, so it's 90s and 2000s music because I'm old.
And they mentioned that One Republic played twice too. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm excited for the final 2 episodes here. 3 actually. Traveler, Veritas, and Descent, because Descent's the top rated one of the season, and I can understand why. And it's a great episode. And the 2 previous ones lead right up.
You say final?
No, I meant like, sorry.
Oh, the next
best.
3.
Yeah, the next 3.
Okay, I was like, did this have a short season? I couldn't remember.
No, but it ends a big part of the storyline.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then you only have four episodes left to the end of the season.
Oh wow, this is still a short season.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I will say this though. I mean, it's episode 13, and we still have Lana in this season. I know she leaves the season, right? Like I thought she left like earlier in the
I think
season.
she goes in season 8.
Does
I
she?
think that she somehow has something done to her where she can't be close to Clark. She has to go away from him. I can't
Okay.
remember why.
All
It's been
right.
a while, so yeah, I can't remember why. So uh,
Either way, I mean,
we'll get to it.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe
I mean,
they might not.
you already said that the Talkville might not go continue on after
They've
season
talked a
7.
lot about it. They might not continue on, so we'll see. Maybe we'll go with something. I would love to watch the first 2 seasons of The Flash, and that is it. Over again. That is it. No more. Just the
We'll
first two
see. We'll
seasons.
see.
But
We
we'll
could
see.
talk off mic about what we could do after Smallville.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we've gone this far. I'd say if
Go the rest of the
Talkville doesn't,
way.
yeah, finish it out. But
We should.
we'll
We
see.
should. But listeners, that wraps up our night. There's a lot of news. We'll get more, I'm sure, in the next coming days about WBD's potential sale. There could be other suitors. So we'll be back next week with that. And I'm not sure how much actual news we'll get in the meantime before the sale hits. I hope we do. But like I said, take some of that with a grain of salt, even if it comes from James Gunn, because plans might change pending sale. So hopefully DC Studio stays together, and DC as a whole, if it's sold off in parts, is sold as its own thing. But I don't know who's going to buy it. I have no idea, and we'll find out more, just like you guys do, I guess. Until then, Joe, we'll be back next week with hopefully more DC news and even a potential sale.
Hopefully.
Until then, bye, everyone.
See y'all.